Well, good morning to you all. I'm Catherine, and we are currently self-isolating as a family yet again, as one of our teenage children had contact with someone who's COVID positive, and then our son himself subsequently tested positive. Um, and this yet again has brought me to a place of having to let go of any control that I thought I had for my own plans and for those of my family in our day-to-day life. And this actually speaks into a season that I currently find myself in. Earlier this year, I gave up my job as a consultant in a busy London teaching hospital. And I know that that was the right decision for me and the family at the time. It was after much prayer and laying down of fleeces, and God showed me that that was the right thing for me to do. However, I moved from being someone whose very identity was in doing, fixing things, making sure that everything is working, decision making, juggling a lot, to being somebody with much more time on my hands and a lot less money. And I needed to acknowledge that there was nothing personally that I could do to fix things, particularly in the light of this whole COVID situation. Except obviously I could follow the guidance in my own immediate life and for that of my family. But part of this has been a really difficult journey in terms of seeing those around me, particularly my children, having interrupted plans and dreams, and for my wider family as well, and seeing a lot of suffering within our community and worldwide with all this COVID situation. And throughout lockdown and beyond, God has been patiently and lovingly showing me how good it is when I just admit that I can't do it. I can't do anything to make the situation right. And so I say, over to you, God. There's nothing more I can do. And every time that I've prayed that and felt that, what I've found, interestingly, is that somehow it has freed me up to enjoy the day to day life, and it's much simpler. Um, and this continues to be something that I'm working on. So this is a work in progress for me. I'm also particularly challenged by the woman who in Matthew chapter 26 is described as pouring very expensive perfume over Jesus' head when he is reclining at the table of Simon the leper in Bethany. As she does this, the disciples rebuke her and say, that's such a waste of money. You could have used that money instead of buying the perfume, you could have used that to feed the poor or give money to the poor. And what really strikes me about this woman is that she's leading an opposite life, which is that of a kingdom perspective and not a worldly perspective. And that kingdom perspective seems particularly relevant during this current COVID season that we're in. She gets judged wrongly by the disciples for her action. And sometimes we may get judged wrongly for these things, for things that we do. And the challenge for me certainly is to live that opposite life despite judgment or criticism. And the idea of kingdom lavishness rather than worldly lavishness kind of turns world economy on its head. It's kind of freeing and exciting as well as challenging. Anyway, have a good day, guys.